Once upon a time, in a cozy little town filled with tree-lined streets and friendly faces, lived a young girl named Sarah. Sarah wasn't just any ordinary girl, she had a spirit as bright as the summer sun and a heart full of dreams. But of all her dreams, one shone the brightest: to meet the legendary Muhammad Ali. Sarah's bedroom was her sanctuary, a vibrant space dedicated to her hero. Posters of Ali and his iconic boxing poses adorned the walls, each one telling a story of strength, courage, and unwavering belief. Books about his life and career were stacked neatly on her shelves, each page carefully read and reread. Every corner of her room echoed with her admiration for the boxing champion. She wasn't just drawn to his athletic prowess, it was Ali's unwavering confidence and his powerful words that truly resonated with her. He stood for something bigger than boxing. More than anything, Sarah believed in the power of believing. She knew that if you truly wanted something and put your heart and soul into it, anything was possible. And right now, what she wanted more than anything was to meet her hero, Muhammad Ali. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to find a way. This dream, to stand face to face with Muhammad Ali, wasn't just a fleeting wish. It was a burning ember in her heart. She imagined what it would be like to shake his hand, to hear his booming voice in person, to feel the presence of a true champion. She daydreamed about telling him how much he inspired her, how his words gave her strength, and how his determination pushed her to never give up on her own goals, big or small. Sarah firmly believed that dreams weren't just things you wished for, they were things you worked for. She'd seen Ali's fights, watched him train, and knew how much effort he put into achieving his goals. He didn't just wish to be the best, he trained, he fought, and he persevered. And that's exactly what Sarah decided to do. She knew meeting Muhammad Ali wouldn't be easy, but she wasn't one to shy away from a challenge. She began brainstorming ideas, thinking of ways to get his attention and make her dream a reality. She thought about entering contests, sending drawings, and even trying to sneak into one of his training sessions. But one idea stood out above the rest: she would write him letters. Lots and lots of letters. With a determined glint in her eyes, Sarah gathered her supplies. She chose her prettiest stationery, the kind with colorful borders and a faint, sweet scent. She sharpened her favorite pencil until the lead was perfectly pointed. She even found a special sparkly pen for the closing. This wasn't just any ordinary task, this was a mission of the heart. Sarah wanted her letters to be perfect, each one a reflection of her genuine admiration and heartfelt desire to meet Ali. She spent hours crafting each letter, carefully choosing her words. She wrote about how his fights made her feel, the excitement and anticipation that filled the room when he stepped into the ring. She wrote about his courage, both inside and outside the ring, and how he stood up for what he believed in, no matter what others thought. She poured her heart into every sentence, hoping that somehow, her words would reach him and touch his heart. She wanted him to know how much he meant to her, and how meeting him would be a dream come true. Each letter was more than just words on paper. It was a piece of her soul, sent out into the world with a hopeful prayer. Finally, the first letter was complete. Sarah carefully folded it, placed it in a bright yellow envelope, and wrote Muhammad Ali's address with her neatest handwriting. She added a few heart stickers for good measure. Holding the envelope in her hands, she felt a surge of hope and excitement. The next day, with a skip in her step, Sarah walked to the mailbox at the end of her street. As she dropped the letter into the slot, she made a silent wish. Please let him read it. She imagined Ali receiving her letter, reading her words, and smiling. Days turned into weeks, and weeks slowly turned into a month. Sarah eagerly checked the mailbox every day, hoping to find a reply. She imagined a letter from Ali, inviting her to meet him, or maybe even a signed photograph. But the mailbox remained empty. No letter came. A little disappointment began to creep into her heart. Had he even received her letter? Did he not have time to read fan mail? The question swirled in her mind. But Sarah refused to let her hope fade completely. She knew that sometimes dreams take time. So Sarah kept writing. One letter turned into 2, then 5, then 10. She wrote about everything and anything that came to mind. She told him about her school, her friends, and her favorite books. She wrote about her own little dreams and ambitions, inspired by his example. She even drew pictures to include with some of the letters, colorful drawings of Ollie in the boxing ring, triumphant and strong. She wrote during sunny afternoons, curled up on her bed with her cat purring beside her. She wrote during rainy evenings, the sound of the raindrops drumming against her window a soothing rhythm. She wrote during quiet moments before bedtime, her thoughts flowing onto the page like a gentle stream. The letters became a routine, a comforting ritual that brought her closer to her hero, even if only in her imagination. She never received a reply, but she didn't let that stop her. She imagined him reading her letters, tucked away in a quiet corner, and that thought alone was enough to keep her going. By the end of the year, Sarah had written 30 letters to Muhammad Ali, each one a testament to her unwavering belief and her unyielding determination. As the year went on, excitement began to build in Sarah's town. Muhammad Ali was scheduled to fight in a major televised event, a championship bout that everyone was talking about. Billboards and posters popped up all over town, announcing the fight and showcasing Ali's iconic image. Sarah was beyond thrilled. She knew that Ali would be in town, preparing for the fight. This felt like her best chance yet to somehow get closer to him, to maybe even catch a glimpse of him in person. She watched every news report, read every article, and listened to every radio broadcast, hoping for any information about Ali's whereabouts. She started writing even more letters, her words filled with excitement about the upcoming fight and her unwavering support for him. She told him how she knew he would win, how she believed in his strength and his skill. She poured all her energy into cheering him on, even from afar. She knew that even if he didn't read her letters, her positive thoughts would somehow reach him and give him strength. The fight was just around the corner, and Sarah's heart was filled with anticipation and hope. The day before the fight, Sarah was helping her mom bake cookies when the phone rang. Her mom answered, chatted for a moment, and then turned to Sarah with a puzzled expression. "It's for you," she said, handing over the receiver. "Someone about a tour?" Sarah took the phone, her heart pounding in her chest. "Hello?" she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Hello, Sarah," a friendly voice said on the other end. "We understand you're a big fan of Muhammad Ali." Sarah's eyes widened. "Yes, I am," she exclaimed. "Well, we have a special opportunity for you," the voice continued. "We're offering you a backstage tour before the fight tomorrow. You'll get to see all the behind-the-scenes action." Sarah could barely believe her ears. A backstage tour? It was almost too good to be true. She had never won anything before. "Really? Me?" she asked, her voice filled with disbelief. "Yes, you," the voice chuckled. "We'll have someone meet you at the arena tomorrow afternoon. Just ask for Mr. Johnson at the front entrance. He'll take care of you." Sarah thanked the person profusely, her mind racing with excitement. A backstage tour meant she might actually get to see Muhammad Ali. It was a dream come true, or at least a step closer to one. The next day, Sarah could barely contain her excitement. She dressed in her best outfit, a bright red dress that she thought was lucky. She even wore her Muhammad Ali t-shirt underneath, just in case. She arrived at the arena hours before the fight, her heart pounding with anticipation. She found Mr. Johnson at the front entrance, a kind-looking man with a friendly smile. He greeted her warmly and led her through the bustling hallways of the arena. The backstage area was a whirlwind of activity. People were rushing around, carrying equipment, shouting instructions, and generally creating a sense of controlled chaos. Sarah's eyes darted around, taking in everything. She saw boxers warming up, trainers giving instructions, and reporters interviewing various people. The air was thick with anticipation and excitement. Mr. Johnson pointed out different areas, explaining what each one was used for. Sarah tried to focus on what he was saying, but her mind was racing. Was she going to see Ali? Was this really happening? She followed Mr. Johnson through a maze of corridors, each turn bringing her closer to the heart of the action. The noise grew louder, the energy more intense. Sarah felt like she was walking on air, her dream inching closer with every step. Mr. Johnson stopped in front of a door with a star on it. "All right, Sarah," he said with a wink. "I have one more surprise for you. Are you ready?" Sarah nodded eagerly, her heart pounding so hard she thought it would burst out of her chest. She could barely breathe. Mr. Johnson opened the door and gestured for her to step inside. As Sarah walked through the doorway, she noticed the room was dimly lit, with only a few spotlights illuminating the center. She took a hesitant step forward, her eyes adjusting to the light. She expected to see more equipment, maybe some training gear. But then, she turned the corner, and there he was. Muhammad Ali. He stood in the center of the room, larger than life, wearing his boxing gear, his gloves gleaming under the spotlights. He was smiling, a warm, genuine smile that reached all the way to his eyes. Sarah froze, completely speechless. She couldn't believe her eyes. It was really him. Her dream had finally come true. Time seemed to stand still as she gazed at her hero, the man she had admired for so long. He was even more amazing in person than she had ever imagined. A wide smile spread across Ali's face as he saw Sarah. He opened his arms wide and said, in that booming voice she had heard so many times on television, "Come here, little friend." Sarah, still a little stunned, slowly walked towards him. As she got closer, she could see the kindness in his eyes, the warmth radiating from his presence. It was even more amazing than she ever could have dreamed. Ali wrapped his arms around her in a big, gentle hug. Sarah felt like she was floating on air. It was the best hug she had ever received. "I know you," Ali said, his voice soft and kind. "You're Sarah, the girl who writes me all those letters." Sarah's eyes widened in surprise. You read my letters?" she stammered, hardly able to believe it. "Every single one," Ali confirmed with a nod. "I've been very busy, but I wanted to meet the girl who believes in me so much." He chuckled, a deep, hearty laugh that filled the room. "Your letters mean a lot to me, Sarah." "Thank you." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes. She had never felt so happy, so appreciated. Her dream had not only come true, but it was even better than she had imagined. Ali stepped back and clapped his hands. "But that's not all, Sarah," he said with a twinkle in his eye. "I have a little something for you." He motioned to a man standing nearby, who stepped forward carrying a pair of boxing gloves. The gloves were bright red, just like Sarah's dress, and they looked brand new. Ali took the gloves and held them out to her. "These are for you," he said. "I signed them myself." Sarah gasped. They were real Muhammad Ali boxing gloves. And they were signed just for her. She reached out and took them, her fingers trembling with excitement. The leather felt soft and smooth, and the signature was bold and clear. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "Thank you so much." "You're welcome, Sarah," Ali replied with a smile. "And one more thing." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a ticket. "I want you to have this. It's a ringside seat for tonight's fight. I want you to be there to cheer me on." Sarah's jaw dropped. A ringside seat. It was the best seat in the house. She couldn't believe her luck. This was the most amazing day of her life. With the signed gloves clutched tightly in her hands and the ringside ticket safely tucked away, Sarah watched the fight that night from the best seat in the house. The energy in the arena was electric, the crowd roaring with excitement. But for Sarah, it was more than just a fight. It was the culmination of a year's worth of dreams, hopes, and unwavering belief. She cheered for Ali with all her heart, her voice hoarse from shouting encouragement. She watched him move with grace and power, his punches landing with precision. She knew he was fighting not just for himself, but for everyone who believed in him, including her. When Ali won the fight, the crowd erupted in cheers. Sarah jumped to her feet, clapping and shouting with joy. She felt a surge of pride and gratitude, knowing that she had played a small part in his victory, even if it was just through her letters and her unwavering support. As Ali raised his arms in victory, he looked towards the ringside seats and gave a small nod in Sarah's direction. She knew it was for her, a silent acknowledgement of her support. It was the perfect ending to the most perfect day of her life. Years passed, but Sarah never forgot that day. The signed boxing gloves became her most prized possession, carefully displayed in a glass case in her room. Every time she looked at them, she was reminded of the power of believing and the importance of never giving up on her dreams. She also kept all 30 letters she had written to Muhammad Ali, neatly tied together with a ribbon. They were a reminder of her younger self, a girl with a big heart and unwavering determination. She would often read them, reliving the excitement and hope that had filled her heart as she wrote each one. As she grew older, Sarah continued to be inspired by Muhammad Ali's example. She pursued her own dreams with the same passion and dedication that he had shown in the boxing ring. She became a teacher, hoping to inspire her students to believe in themselves and to never give up on their own goals. And every year, on the anniversary of the fight, she would take out the gloves and the letters, and remember the day her dream came true. It was a reminder that anything is possible if you just believe. Even now, as an older woman, Sarah still keeps the letters and the gloves safe. Sometimes her students ask her about them. She loves to tell them the story of the little girl who wrote to Muhammad Ali and never gave up on her dream. She shows them the gloves, letting them feel the soft leather and trace the famous signature. She reads them excerpts from her letters, sharing her youthful enthusiasm and unwavering belief. She wants them to understand that anything is possible if they just believe in themselves and never stop trying. Sarah tells them that Muhammad Ali wasn't just a boxer, he was a symbol of hope and inspiration. He taught her that it's okay to dream big, to stand up for what you believe in, and to never let anyone tell you that you can't achieve your goals. And as she looks at the faces of her students, she sees the same spark of hope and determination that she felt as a young girl. She knows that the story of the little girl who wrote to Muhammad Ali will continue to inspire generations to come, reminding them that dreams really do come true. The letters and gloves aren't just objects, they're a living testament to the power of believing. They're proof that even the biggest dreams can come true, if you just have the courage to keep writing. And so, the story of Sarah and Muhammad Ali became a legend in their small town, a testament to the power of dreams and the importance of kindness. It was a story that was passed down from generation to generation, inspiring countless people to believe in themselves and to never give up on their hopes. The story reminds us that even the smallest act of kindness can have a profound impact on someone's life. Muhammad Ali didn't have to meet Sarah, he didn't have to read her letters, and he didn't have to give her those special gifts. But he did, and in doing so, he changed her life forever. It also shows us that even the most famous and successful people are still human beings, with hearts and feelings just like everyone else. Ali's willingness to connect with a young fan, to acknowledge her belief in him, is a reminder that we all have the power to make a difference in the lives of others. So, the next time you have a dream, remember Sarah and Muhammad Ali. Remember their story of hope, determination, and kindness. And remember that anything is possible if you just believe. Keep writing those letters, keep chasing those dreams, and never, ever give up. Your moment may be just around the corner. So, remember Sarah, and remember her gloves. Remember her letters, and remember her unwavering belief. Most of all, remember this: your dreams matter. They are the sparks that ignite your soul, the compass that guides you through life. Don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big, too silly, or too impossible. Because the truth is, anything is possible if you believe. It might take time. It might take effort. It might take a lot of letters. But if you persevere, if you never give up, you might just find that your dream is waiting for you, just around the corner. And who knows? Maybe one day, you'll be the one inspiring others to chase their dreams, to believe in themselves, and to never, ever give up. Because the world needs dreamers. The world needs believers. The world needs you. So, go out there and make your dreams a reality. Write your letters, chase your goals, and never stop believing. Because the world is waiting for your story, your inspiration, and your unwavering belief in the power of dreams.